Hello, welcome back. All right, today's going to be like a little bit of everything, I think. I got some questions. So I recorded the session 2.1 on Friday or Saturday, and it's posted on Sunday. And then Monday, I grade all your work that's due on Sunday. So then I finally see like, oh, okay, this is, places that we have little hookups. Like we're not maybe fully understanding everything, but that's what we're here to do. We're here to learn design. We're here to practice. We're here to like do it again and again and again and again until we like, this is like just coming off, like I do this, and I move here, and here. It's okay. We're learning together. But I want you to just like kind of go through the steps and double check everything. So I'm going to go over through a couple quick tricks and tips that I got questions about. And I want to show you some cool things that like you may not know about. I think there's three or four. Then I'm going to go through that document setup again. And then knowing that export, how to export two ways, one for client, making sure we're turning everything on and off. So I'll run through that document. The other thing is making sure we're using the right program. I flip back and forth, sometimes Illustrator, sometimes InDesign. You have to know both of those equally well in the design community. It's just like, you can't just be like, when you're looking for a job and they're like, what do you know about InDesign? You're like, I used it like once. They'll be like, well, we're not going to hire you because we need to know somebody can use it all the time. And I do use it equally as much as I do use Illustrator. I do go back and forth all the time. Each has its own features. Illustrator is like Illustrator, like, and InDesign is like page setting. And it's like so many cool things in Illustrator and InDesign that you don't know about because you're just used to using one. But as you become familiar with both, it's going to be better and better and better. But that's what we're here to do. Get comfortable. I got a billion things open to show you some research I've been doing. But let's jump in. And I'm going to start in InDesign. And this actually works also to Illustrator. I'm doing it in InDesign because sometimes it's the harder one for people. But I can show next week, I can show you this in Illustrator as well. But it's the same panel, same stuff, same panel, same bat channel. All right, let's do it. Let's jump on in. All right. Align and distribute. If you have things, this is the align panel. And so you can align objects and distribute objects. And once you like start getting into this, it makes it so easy. Like here I have a bunch of circles. I want to align them. You just hit, pow. These are all lined up in the center. I want to distribute these equally. Pow, they're distributed equally. And so when you have images, you can just kind of keep this up. Like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And then, like you just start like making them, get them closer and closer. I mean, there's far easier ways to do this if I was like gridding it, but if I get them somewhat close, and then you can use that, like even there, like I'm using those lines, it's almost easier. But here I have those three and I can double check. All right. Here I got those three, double check. Here I got those three, double check. And just like however you want to use it, start to use these tools to get things perfect. Like if you want, like I would actually stop here and then group these three, right? Because these are all equally spaced and say I want that. Then I'm going to do this and I'm going to duplicate that again. Whoops, cancel. Oh, I forget InDesign doesn't have the duplicate. I'm going to paste it. Oh, delete. That's for later. So I'll do this again. But again, now I can grab those three and distribute my spacing. And I have the grid. So just play around with this. Like if you're ever like, and even if it's like, I'll do odd shaped objects here. How do you want them aligned? Like, oh, I've got these things and I want these three images. I have 4 images that are different sizes because of what I'm doing, but I want them all aligned centered. So you grab them all align center, or I want them at the bottom, or I want them at the top. And then, oh, I want them all equally distributed. So then you click this. And it's just using those tools instead of sitting there and being like, you know, like you just, this is off, you know, and you just be like, oh, I want these two lined up. Boom. It does it. It's lined up. I don't know the algorithm. I think it's how you grab it. Which one's first? So if I grab this one to this one, I think it aligns to the top. Oh, no. I should figure that out. Which one it aligns to first. The bigger one? And then there's other things. So this align to, also amazing. Say I've got I got this. I'm going to group it. I should start doing that. The right click, group it. And then, so that's right click. When you right click, you know, I talk about using that right click on your mouse. All these effects come up, so you're not going up here. You know, it's just like using key commands. Use them. So like I have this grouped, align to, well, I want to align to the page. So when I go boom, boom, that's perfectly centered on the page. Just like when we make our margins in Illustrator, you can do the same in InDesign. So start to use these tools as a helper to get things like, I want these like perfect. Like, I don't ever use this one. Like, what's this one? If I grab these three. Oh, it's, wait, I'm going to undo that because I have it to align to selection. The top of each one. I think it's like this to this to this. Does that make sense? So this to this line are all equally distributed. If I do this, now all the center marks of these are equally distributed. Like you would do weird stuff. And I don't know them all. I don't use them all, but I know I use like, I want these three things aligned. Grab them, boom, do that. I want it distributed, boom, go. And now I move on with my program. So align and distribute, start to use them. Use them like this is your advantage. You know, like there's no reason not to use this stuff. There's no reason why you shouldn't be like, especially the mouse. And then you're like, oh, it's not quite there. But there are so many snap tools too. So start to use that align and distribute, and that's where that is. Part 2. Free transform. And I'm going to talk about, this is for InDesign, and I'm going to talk about there. Okay. A couple things. I copied and pasted this paragraph of information from the internet. Whatever. It's great. When I move it, I'm getting hyphens again. Darn those hyphens. Well, remember in the assignments, no hyphens? Look at this, watch. They're hyphenate. Under paragraph, hyphenate. No more hyphenate. I think a couple of you, don't use center align text either. This is, we always use left or right. Don't use center. 'Tis not a poem about the Glasgow school. It's comfortable to do that. We don't do that. We do it left. It's like far more sophisticated. Running everything down the middle, center, just doesn't work. Sure, we may be emulating something, but this is old school stuff. That's all right though. Now, here's a rad one. And I'm going to do it in like 3 stages here. Free transform. I talk about this. This tool works in both InDesign and Illustrator. I'm doing it in InDesign. Say you got, you know, everybody loves to do their box, which I kind of roll my eyes at. I'm just letting you all know. Text does not always need to be confined to a box. Like why? You know, like the text's not going to run away. I'm using yellow because it's irritating. So let's, and then, so, let's do layout, object, arrange, bring to front. So a common practice is everybody does this. And they're like, that's awesome. My text is in a text box. Well, why is your text touching? But you're like, then I spent forever like making sure that every line was perfect. And I went in there. And then he says, oh, you have to, it's touching all the edges. Well, then you're like, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do this and do this and do this. And it's all messed up. This isn't what I wanted, right? Let's go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then use free transform and watch the amazingness of this. This is here. I'm on free transform. I'm going to hold down shift. This is the other question. Always hold down shift. Now I can reduce this to be inside the box. And then I can adjust the box slightly. Using free transform allows me to scale both the box and the text without the text changing its setup. So if I don't use that and I use this and I hold down shift, the text stays the same size and then it oversets somewhere else. Do you see what I'm doing there? Like, isn't that the greatest ever? Like, I just want that smaller. Oh, great. Like if I'm like, oh, it's just like a smidge too big, you know what I do? I go in and I go and I got on my typeset. I don't go in and try to like do typography. I just grab that box and I'm like, it just needs to be a smidge smaller to fit in that box. And then, then you can adjust your box. Boop. Boop. Or even better, I'm going to go up on this and then you go, oh, boom, boom. There we go. So free transform is pretty damn amazing in that aspect. Now, how does that work for other stuff? Well, it works on these images too. Again, I showed you. So I have this book and there's a ton of extra space. And I've seen this happening. I think this is more in the Illustrator ones where people are just like leaving giant boxes around their images. And so like come in tight and use like a visually common area. Like I said, I'll go over Illustrator next week. So I have that. That looks pretty good. Oh, I need to scale it. Don't use that. Use free transform. Just switch E, letter E on the keyboard. And then I go back to this one. I want to do this. So I switch V. You can do V. And then I'm going to go like, it's a little bit wonky in there, but that's fine. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Oh, now I want to scale it. I can scale it going to free transform and holding down shift. We always hold down shift. Shift constrains proportions. Again, I want these books the exact same height because it's going to look really good in my presentation. Hold down shift and get them perfectly aligned, right? Now I got this and I got this. And I'm like, oh, I want 1, 2, 3. Okay, what am I going to do? Free transform. I'm going to grab both of these, go to free transform, and bring this out to there. Boom. Done. Those are all three the same size. Oh, no. Joel complained that they're too big on the page. Let's make a fake page. Arrange. I should just be right-clicking. Right-click. Arrange. Send it back. But you know what? It helps when you're actually clicked on the actual object. Arrange. Send it back. And then I had this, and then Joel's like, it's too tight. You should make it. So then I'm just going to go I'm going to click on all 4 objects. I'm holding down shift, right? To get all 4 objects. I hold down shift. Then I go to free transform. And if I hold like shift and command or shift alt, Oh, look at that. All three scale. And I can make them smaller. That's how you do it. It's like easier. You don't go in and like do everyone alone. Free Transform is like the most amazing tool to use in InDesign. It locks InDesign. There we go. Does that make sense when I say that it like unlocks InDesign? All that, the InDesign select tool is very limited, and this is kind of limited. But if you use that free transform tool, boom, you can do so much. Holding down shift, learning those key commands. If your hand is down by its side, like you have a mannequin hand, start using it. Start putting it on up on the keyboard, holding down shift, shift, always shift. Here's the final one, I think, for today. And Brandon Media people, I'll be going over this as well in Brandon Media. You get to see it twice. I'm gonna close this out because I don't need it. You're working in InDesign, and it's awesome. And then you have a logo in Illustrator, and everybody exports the logo and then puts in this crap ass logo that's got like jaggities on it. Number one, get a vector logo. I actually cannot find a vector logo for my history thing, and I'm not going to rebuild it, but I found PNGs with no background. But if you find your company logo in vector, you must use it. But then you're like, but I have InDesign. So I'm an Illustrator now, right? And I have this awesome vector logo of Lego, and all I'm going to do is copy. Just copy. See down there? Copy. And now I'm going to go over to InDesign and paste. And look, it's a vector logo. It's vector. I can go in and change stuff. Like, oh, this circle R is wrong. Oh, okay. I can go in with my direct select tool and adjust it. Let's see. I wanted that inner one. Delete. Oh. Let's see. See if I can compound path that. Edit. Oh, you guys got me now. Object. Oh, you got me totally. Did I do it wrong in there? Because I had to readjust this logo when I did it. No, it's correct there. Oh, you know what I can do? I'll do this. Object, and I should be able to ungroup. I'm not seeing it fast. Object. I can't ungroup it. Oh, this is so intriguing as to why it's locking me out for that circle. So this is like, yeah. If I do that to black. Oh, I have to figure this out. Not on your dime. I'll figure it out on my own. That's intriguing. Why it would do that. I'm going to ungroup. Ungroup. Oh, there. So now that's separated. Let's do object. Can I ungroup this? Path. All right, I'll work with this, and the brand people will hear my conclusion of how I fix this problem. Dang it. Oh, weird. But I want you all to know that take vector from Illustrator. Say you didn't say, you know, like sometimes it's easier in Illustrator, and you're like I'm gonna make some, you know, like I'm I've got like, because it matches my design, and I have like, I just found it easier to do these in Illustrator, and these are for my 1950s design. You know, like all those weird scribbles and scrabbles. That was horrible. But like I did those in Illustrator, and now I'm just gonna copy and paste them into InDesign, and it keeps them vector. Oh, I need to scale it. What do we use? Free transform. Hold down shift. Dunzo bunzo. So work together with everything. Every program has its highlight and low light, and like, you know, like for me, Photoshop is for photos, maybe some sketching, and you know, like adding cat's heads to people, right? I don't typeset, and I don't do graphics in Photoshop. Illustrator is great for the like designing single page one-offs and using like that vector and getting your Illustrator skills rolling, and then like finite details. And then InDesign is for like that page layout, like, you know, consistency on each page over and over and over and over. So get to know that free transform, have some fun with it, rock it. So, and again, let me know if you have questions, comments, or concerns. I answer them. I look at them. I see what you guys have worked on. I check all that out. And I try to like, you know, see where we're stalling and what I can do to make it better. So I'm going to move some stuff around here because I need to be able to see the graphic design in the Industrial Revolution. And I'm just going to go down, but I'm going to point this out again. Do not do in red. No hyphens, no widows. A widow is a word left alone at the end of a paragraph. A single word. Here, let's do it. I'll show you. I go over this in the brand class for some people. I can get this to have a widow. Let's pull it down. Because I did something and I was like, oh, it made a widow. It's really testing my patience. There. This is a widow. You got a whole paragraph. And you're reading great. And then distorted and conventionalized human form. Like, there's no reason for this one word to be alone. But like, you're like, oh, but dude, I can't go any wider. I can't change anything. Well, then you know what, you go in and I sometimes start like a higher, and I do what's called a soft return, shift return. And then you start to like play a little bit. And I don't always let like the computer do it. Sometimes it does like these super giant hits. And I'm like, no, I don't want you to go that far. So then I kind of like undo their work to try to get it to where I want it. So maybe was too much. And you just play around until you get it. Space. Oh, I wonder if there's like something in there. There might be a glyph setup. Oh, there. I just did that was, and now it ends on human form. There's 2 words there now. That's all you need to do. And in a soft return means that if I adjust the paragraph setting, it's not going to make it seem like this isn't a true paragraph. It just takes that as a line, a new line, and it doesn't have the return aspect adjusted on it. So make sure no widows, no center aligned body copy, no bold body copy, no all caps body copy. Check the fonts you're using. No squished, stretched, or distorted typefaces. No squished, stretched, or distorted images. Let me show you that one. I go and I check, and I have a very good eye for seeing it. And all I have to do is open your InDesign document, click on this. And up here, I check that those 2 numbers are the same. So if you went in and you're like, I'm just gonna, oh wait, I don't even know how you do it. You're like, I need to resize this and I'm going to get the fit. I'm going to look at that and I'm like, what? That doesn't look right. Why doesn't that look right to me? And I open your file and I click on it and I'm like, oh, 38.9 and 44.5. That's not good. Why did you stretch it? Do you want people, when they represent you, to misspell your name? Oh, it doesn't matter. It's close enough, right? I'll misspell your name. It's close enough. No. Perfect. I want you to spell my name right. You want people to spell your name right. You correct them. This is an image that somebody took, put it in correctly. You know, I hope that makes sense. And that same goes with logos. Like, don't distort logos. This we'll get into later. This is that body copy must have an X height of 3 U's around it. That is when I complain to you about I put a box and then your text is touching the edge of the box. 3 characters gap around that box. What does that mean? So when I have this, if I do this, oh, there is a return there. That's why there's a hidden return. That's why I was screwing everything up. All right. So you should have approximately 3x of the height of the type around it. What does that mean? I make a little box, and if I go XXX, this should fit in beside your text box in the furthest text. 3x. That's what I mean by that. That's a good amount of space that allows people to view this. So what do I have to do? This was a little too tight on that side. Free transform. Just make it a little bit smaller. Boom. That's what I mean by that. That's when you hear me like, it's a little tight. Doesn't need to be that tight. Like, give it some room. I call it personal space. It's designed personal space. How close do you want somebody standing next to you? A stranger. How close do you want a stranger standing next to you in line? Do you want them this close? This close? Or like, just give me some room. Like, give me some room. There you go. That close. Nice room. I want space around me. So do all of your designs and design elements, excuse me. So, and then no important information should extend beyond the margin of the document. We talked about margins, but I'm going to move this over. Let's set up this project for you again as we work on our development of design. I'm just going to go up. InDesign's either file, new, because I have it already open, document. I'm going to just go right over here. I'm going to make sure I'm in inches, and we have it 7 wide, 5 tall, 7, tab, 5. Now I was working on with you all, and I had a document set up. I only want 1 page. I'm making sure that I do not have facing pages on, because that makes this parent pages area up here look like crap. And then it offsets, like 1's here, 2's over here, and then it bumped up. When you export it, it's wrong. If we're doing single pages, just do the single page. All right, margins, bleeds, 0.25, tab, bleed, 0.25, tab. So remember, in InDesign, you don't have to do the crop marks. In Illustrator, you have to do the crop marks. Now, I'm on my normal page here, and then I'm gonna, sometimes it's easier to just like, you gotta look for the page break. Or if you're like, I have a hard time doing that, just make a box. A quick little box, the size of the document. You can double check it, 7x5, and then when you pull your guides, they'll snap to that box centers, and then delete the box. Delete. All right. Turn on the room, one vertical, one horizontal. We're here. And then we're going to make layers. Title. Images. Paragraph. Background. All right, so then I have all those. And I'm just going to put in something, let's grab all this. Put it in. I don't want to waste time on this, but okay. Background, I'm going to X out. And then move the background to the bottom. And I'm going to paste. And I'm going to make sure that my background, goes all the way to the bleed. I can still see my artboard. I can still see stuff. All right. Except for, did I copy everything? I'm not going to do title. I'll do images and then paragraph. I'm just doing this now just to quickly so I can export it properly for you all. But again, I go in, I was just working on some stuff today and I didn't have layers and I was like, oh my God, it was driving me nuts. Images, these are important. Oh, I need to scale these. I'm going to use free transform, scale them. I have no idea why it's glitching. Oh, because I have paragraph. I have these. And then I have my paragraph. And again, I don't want this. Oh, so if I was like, I want to go for a cool effect, and I want this to extend, looks like it's coming in from off the page. Well, then that has to come in from all the way off the page to the bleed. And then we have our two versions when we save this, client and print ready. So file, export, PDF, 126. I'm just going to put it here and it's going to yell at me. Client, save, replace. Client gets smallest file size, view PDF after exporting, and we're going to double check that we're not using any print marks, and then we hit export. And there it is. Beautiful. Then we go to File, Export, and this is for press, save, and I'm going to go to press quality, view PDF after exporting. I want crop marks, and I want to use the document bleed settings, and I hit export, and there we are, ready for print. Easy peasy. You guys are going to do this enough that you're just going to know it by heart. When somebody's like, we just need it for preview, can you send it to client? Boom, the small size, file size, they don't need to see anything else. Hey, it's ready to go to press, and they want a press ready PDF. Boom, you know what to do. All right. Now let's talk about poster generation. So I decided to go with bricks and minifigs. My kid is crazy about Legos. This is my client. I found two logos. They're PNGs. I couldn't find a vector. It's a pretty crap logo anyway, but I have two versions I can use if I want to. And then I'm working with this. And I have a little byline. So I'm working with this, Glasgow School. And so what I did is and this is for later, I brought in some images, and I was like, oh, I like these. I want to use them. And then here, where is it? I want the about us. Crap. Home. All right. Now, instead of also, the logo, they have this rebuild, reuse, reimagine. Like, how rad is that? I'm going to use that in my design. Like I'm researching my client. It's not like, oh, just a coffee shop. They did that coffee shop just serves coffee. What makes that coffee shop different? What can you use? What can you add to your poster to make it different, but still retain the style? So I just open these in Photoshop because I can draw on my screen because I have that rad stuff, and you do too. Just come on in. Come on in. Room M560, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. until 4:30, and try some draw screen action. Now, I don't want to copy these exactly, but I kind of want to copy them. But I want to like transfer ideas, but use these as templates. I'm using it as a template, and I'm just going to draw. So I'm just going to take my brush, and I'll make sure my brush is on the brush I want. And then I'm just going to do a little squiggle here. And in fact, I'm going to take this and I'm going to drop the opacity down. I think you guys can still see that. And then I'm going to be like, okay, here it is. Right? And then, it's got borders and stuff. So, I'll put like the border in. And I'm, somewhat, and then like for some reason it has a black border here, right? And then the logo is here. So I would do the long logo. And this is wrong. So I have to understand that my drawing is proportionately wrong. If I really wanted to, I could screenshot, bring it in, and get that logo there. But right now I'm just looking for placement and ideas. Now it's symmetrical in design, and I have these sayings that I want, like reuse. I can't remember what they are. I'll have to move it over. Rebuild. I'm just going to move this over to a different screen. So this is like, bricks and minifigs. All right, we got that. And then rebuild, reuse, reimagine. So like they have this thing, but Lego's pretty hardcore, but they do have the circles. And I'm wondering like if I do this would be one word. Maybe do this is another word, and this is another. And then do I mirror it? And then there's, then they have this ornate stuff, and like I feel like something could go here, but maybe it's like it's very symmetrical. It's weird. Okay, so these are Lego bricks. One thing I know when you design with Lego bricks, get the proportions right. Otherwise, people are like, "What is that?" And maybe like then we can build like if we come down. And go out. And then we'll put a bigger, like a peacock. It's like peacocky. I think that's what this is referencing. They liked peacocks back then. So each of these circles get a little rounded, and then I want something like to tie these in, but these are words. And I can pull from that website. I can pull their little icons, and I may like retrace them to make them like single. So what I mean is like, I may take this exact icon, zoom in on it. How do you zoom in? You just zoom in. Ooh, hit the wrong button there. And then I can either bring it in or, like I'll just trace it. Trace it with a black line so it matches the Glasgow school. And I might do that same thing with the logo, like make the logo all outline. I'm not going to distort the logo. I am not going to squash the logo, but I may make it more in line with the Glasgow school. And then, like I said, there's something I want to do with this, but I'm not sure yet. Like, or maybe it doesn't need it. Let me turn this off. Or maybe like I could just run like another like maybe thing down here that like goes. They had that little whoop, whoop, whoop. Or maybe I put like a little dude up here. There's the like, maybe I'll do that, little Lego head, some bricks, and then this is the 3 words, and it's gonna be like green with black line. All right, let's do another one. No, I knew I was gonna run into trouble with this one. Oh, this one I know what I want to do. So I'm gonna do this. And if you're like, oh, I don't have the ability to draw in Photoshop, and use a piece of paper with your laptop, put the piece of paper on the screen on your laptop and draw lightly, and then take it off the screen and then draw on it, and then take a picture of it that way. Again, we have everything here for you. Come on in. All right, so this design would be we got our square, and I'm turning these book covers into posters, and then I'm gonna do that, like here's the logo. I'm not gonna stray far from what it is. Bricks and minifigs. We understand that. Then I'm gonna I'll do down here. 1, 2, 3. Now let's change it. I don't want that. So I'm gonna undo. And let's make squares. 1, 2, 3. And then it's like the word is either going to above or below. And then here, like to copy this, I would look up and then like make it look like it's made out of Lego. So there's the base plate, and then like I'm gonna just have like, start to use my imagination more, like, and these are Legos, but they're gonna be perfect to the Lego size. And then there's gonna be a Lego bridging these two. There's gonna be a gap in the middle there. And then somehow I will use I'll look up or go in my basement and then find like little Lego things that I can just kind of copy and draw. And like once you do one, you just copy and paste. So it's not like, I'm sitting there and going like, I have to draw, you draw it once, copy, paste it. That's like the nice thing about this design. And then, like now I could add, like, do I want to add anything else? Like, like they love their ornateness and their weird lines. I'm going to do this. I know it looks like a birthday cake, but maybe once it's done and I have proper like Lego pieces in there, it'll look better. And then this one, this one will do this. Like, so this is long and skinny. Logo at the top. And then this, which I'm not going to do right now. Okay. But right here, because what I'm going to would do, because I can, just like you guys can, is I've got buckets of minifigures, and I'm going to make the minifigure pose like this, which is like that to that, like, you know what I mean? Like real stiff, but like arms out. And I will make sure it is in proportion and it looks like a Lego minifig. But like to get the idea, this is all we need to do, like, oh wait, no, they do have hair. Like, yeah, so it can have hair. And then like this staff then would be like, and then like staff out, and then that's the icons and stuff like that. But I went online and I tried to just quickly find it, knowing that like, oh, when I'm at home, I just have to take a picture of a minifig. But where did I do it? I just started like minifig and many poses, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna find the right one. I know exactly what I want, so I will be able to just take a minifigure and pose it. That's all I need to do, because I have them, and I take a picture of it and I trace that picture in Illustrator or hand draw, whatever I want to do. And then and then those are 3 ideas for the one poster, based off of the design. So I have 3 different poster designs for Glasgow. Then I would do it for Modern Movement in America, and then I would do it for another one. And that's all you do. And honestly, I didn't look at what time I started recording, but I did a little. This research stands for the most part for all 3 setups. And I just have to get better, my references, that 5 references that you need, that just helps you be like, okay, I want to match this exactly. And then when I go to the next round, I look at my matching, and I'm like, okay, make sure my curves, or I have like little curly cues and stuff like that. And you're emulating a look and feel from a different time. And you're practicing what they practice at that time, but with modern tools. It's pretty rad. I think it's super rad. Again, I don't know where to leave it. I'll put up the main screen. Do I have it up anymore? That's for that. So any questions, comments, concerns, of course, reach out to me. Let me know what's going on, how I can help. And I'm there to help. And work with me. I'll work with you, work with me. It'll be great. Let me know what you got. All right, that's it for today. I will see you in the next session. All right, take care. Bye-bye.